In this video, I'm going to show you how to write high converting emails 10 times faster using ChatGPT without sacrificing quality. Early in my business, I learned that growing an email list is the key to making money online. But later on, I realized that the real game changer is in building a strong relationship with your subscribers through great emails. The challenge is that writing great emails consistently takes time, which is why most people end up neglecting their list. And that's where ChatGPT comes in. I'll show you how I brainstorm, write, and refine emails in a fraction of the time so you can save hours while keeping your emails engaging and effective. Starting with step number one, which is to get outside. Very rarely do we have these amazing insights, these breakthrough ideas when we are sitting hunched over our desk at our computer. My best ideas typically come from when I'm getting out, going on a walk through my local neighborhood, or going out on a cool trail, or even when I'm driving my car. Sometimes I get ideas in the shower, but it's kind of rare. So whatever it is for you, find that place where you have those big ideas and those insights, because your audience is following you because you're both on the same journey. You are a little bit further ahead of them, most likely, so they want to learn from you. And when you have these insights that support you on your journey, it's your chance to share that with them in the form of an email. And that's how you build a strong relationship with your email list. So the key here is to be somewhere regularly, like go on regular walks or regular drives, just for you to kind of get away and be creative, and then have a way to be able to capture those emails. The way that I do this is in the Notes app in my phone. I open it up anytime I have some big breakthrough. Maybe I'm listening to a podcast, reading a book, just walking around, and I have this big insight, whatever it is. And I start to speak the idea with the voice note feature inside of my Notes app. And as I'm basically just vomiting out and brain dumping this idea, it's filling up a big note in my phone. And I'll do this with a ton of different ideas that I get. But what I like to do then is use that information to help ChatGPT write my first draft. The one that I want to share today and create into an email is going to be this one right here, that transparency is your superpower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight this whole thing. I'll hit copy. And then what I'm going to do is go over to ChatGPT on my phone in a new chat. And what I'm going to say is, write me an email for my list using this content. And then I'll put it in quotation marks and I'm going to hit paste. And at the very bottom, I like to do quotation marks. I don't know if this is true, but it feels like it kind of makes it like a bullseye in a way of like, this is what the text I want you to focus on. So then I'm gonna hit send. And I'm gonna let it do its thing. Now what's happening is that ChatGPT is creating my first draft for my email. So when I go into ChatGPT on my dashboard, because this is where I can do more typing and stuff, being on my phone, it just helps me translate the idea into chat. Then I'll go over to transparency in selling. And this is where I'm gonna have my first draft. Now what I like to do is to read through this first draft and just see what it came up with based on that information that I already gave it, because that actually sounded like me. And then I'm going to read through this real quick. So already right off the bat, it's pretty good. I mean, the prompt that I gave it was pretty long, like the information about transparency being your superpower. I already really like this. I'm going to copy and paste it over into a email marketing folder that I have inside of my Google Drive. So I go into engagement email backlog, and there's already this one that I had created. This is an old email that I wrote just the other day. So I have completed emails, and I have a handful of different emails in here since I started doing this. So I'm going to drag that in. And then I'm going to create a new Google Doc, and this is where I'm going to add more of me to this rough draft that ChatGPT gave me. All right, so I just ran through that email and I added some funny GIFs up here, which you can't see, but it's the little chaotic Elmo. Now, I'm not going to read the entire email, but basically what I'm saying is that radical transparency is something that can absolutely help you grow your business. So instead, start without a finished product. Just make sure that it's something that you just get out there. This is an insight I heard when I was listening to a podcast episode. I'm like, wow, that's such a good idea and a powerful insight. It's a great aha moment that anybody can benefit from, especially my audience. So I turned it into an email. And I gave them a little script, a couple like bullet points, things like that, a little bit of humor, with the chaotic Elmo GIF. And then, talking about how we're being transparent is a lot more powerful and relatable than you trying to act like you're the most amazing expert in the world, but you actually have no idea what you're doing. So it's this funny gif about me trying to solve other people's problems, knowing I'm completely unqualified. Okay, so just be transparent, and that'll help you grow your business. All right, especially in those early stages. At the end, I have a little call to action where they can apply for a coaching session with me. All right, so that is essentially what I'm going to do for this email. Now, what I like to do is I like to run through this, and I will ask ChatGPT, what are some good subject lines for this email? And I'll do my little quotation marks, which again, don't know if it works, but hey, I think it does. I'm going to plug this in. So right off the bat, the one that catches my eye the most and I would be interested in is people know you're selling. Here's how to own it. I like that. Okay. So I can, if I'm not really sure, I'm not really like happy with these, what I can do is I can take the one that I like and I can say more like this. Again, I'm probably just going to go with that one, but I'm just giving you a quick example. They know you're selling, so be transparent about it. Okay, stop hiding your sales pitch. Yes, you're selling. Here's how to make them love it. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So what I'll do too is I'll split test with ChatGPT just to get its insight and feedback. It's a great tool for giving you feedback. So what I'll do is I like people know you're selling. Here's how to own it. And I'll say, which one would drive more clicks? And I'll do this, or they know you're selling, so be transparent about it. Do quotation marks, and it'll give you feedback. It'll say, people know you're selling. Yeah, that's the one that I liked more too. It's likely to drive more clicks. So I go kind of off of my intuition, but I also am just curious, like, which one do you think? Because ChatGPT has a lot of information, and it's pretty darn smart, which is terrifying, but great at the same time. So what I'll do is I'm going to save these emails. I like to have a backlog of these emails because I can reuse them as I, keep sending emails. If I run out of an idea or whatever happens, I can just be like, oh, or if I just want to revisit an old email, I can just go back into my backlog and resubmit those 6 months down the road. And there's always new people joining my email list. So they'll be like, whoa, this is really cool, insightful, etc. So what I like to do is just write the subject line, pop it in there. And now all of my stuff is saved. It's inside of my email backlog with all my completed emails. And these are all helpful emails that I can recycle and use and just keep there in case I want to turn them into YouTube videos, kind of like I did today. All that stuff is inside of here. One other thing I like to do with when I write my email is I will highlight it and then I'm going to put it in and I will just say, spell check, and grammar check this for me. And I'll just put it in there and it'll just kind of fine tune and clean up, polish up the draft that I had written because I know that my spelling and grammar isn't always the best. All right, so the last thing I do is I will take this refined, polished version, and this is the one that I'm going to put into my Google Doc. What I like to do is go to normal text because in ChatGPT, it's just a different format. So this is where I'm just going to reformat it real quick. So then what I'm going to do is go into Kajabi and I will do a new broadcast where I'll say get started. I like to use my people know you're selling. I'm actually going to rename this. I want all my contacts to get this. So I'm going to go back and then my subject line. I like to do the preview text down here. So people know you're selling. Here's how to own it. And then I'm just going to plug in my content real quick. So give me 1 sec. All right, so once my email is in here, I've got my images, got my links, etc. I'm all set. Then I'll go back and I'm going to send this out to my list. I'm going to schedule it for tomorrow just because it's a little bit later in the day. I like to usually send my emails in the morning. If I go through this process and it is the beginning of the day and I just kind of run through real quick, then I'll just hit send. I don't really care if it has to be sent at 7 a.m. every single Tuesday. I kind of jump around with my emails and I feel that makes my emails feel a lot more authentic because they're a little random. It's just like I'm emailing a friend rather than always being so rigid and consistent all the time. That being said, I still am consistent with how many times I am posting each week. And that is how I use ChatGPT to write really great emails so much faster. But the one thing that's going to help you write even better emails is your ability to get better at copywriting. Check out this video and I will show you 20 of my best copywriting tips in just 6 minutes.